Generic greetings and welcome to Warhammer Survivors. Today's beverage is a very nice and sour and seasonal rhubarb soda, a nicely chilled beverage indeed. So, welcome to Warhammer Survivors, the demo of. This is a game set in the, I was going to say Warhammer 40,000 universe, but it's actually a bit of a duality here. We have Warhammer 40,000 and Warhammer Age of Sigmar, otherwise known as Warhammer AOS, Warhammer the New Old World. Sorry, I just made that one up. Either way, it's a game, obviously, Games Workshop. You've got 40k, you've got Age of Sigmar, and it's in the sort of bullet hell roguelike thing. And to call it a reskin of Vampire Survivors, well, your mileage may vary and you'll be the judge of that one, but I'm just going to go to start and we'll try a little bit of it. Probably just a quick video here because I think you'll pick up what the game is putting down fairly fast. So we're going to go to start on the Warhammer 40,000 setting of this one. Like I say, you've got 40k and Age of Sigmar. I'm only really interested in the 40k side of it. And you've got two characters in this demo. So you've got a Space Marine and you've got an Imperial Guardsman. We're going to go with the Space Marine because why not? And there's a whole set of statistics based on like movement and things like that and defaults. But yes, if you've played any of the genre, you are pretty much up on what the deal is. Basically, you have the controls to move around, and that's pretty much it. You have to defeat the opponents, and in order to do that, you use your auto attacks. And you can see it's obviously a bit swarm type of game, and you collect in this particular case skulls, and then we level up. And then that gives us options for either bonuses for our character. So in this case, the chainsword, which will fire another projectile, or get a bolt gun, or null and oil, which is... I like the way that they've used a mix of things like the in-game setting weapons and equipment, then also like the sort of hobby side of it. So I think you've got like dice and glue and null and oil, which is like the oil that hides all crimes. Let's go with Chainsword because it is a level up here. So there we go. So now it fires on the left and right, and you can actually, if you get it correctly, go fire one side and then the other actually. So if you're quick, you can go and then fire it to both sides. I'm obviously not good enough to do that, but I'm just collecting all of these skulls here because we're going to go for another level, and there we go. We've got D6, so we can throw as exploding dice, damage based on the number rolled, increase chance to roll better, or gauntlet, which is just straight up damage increase. I'm going to go with the dice, so we're going to roll some d6, and there you go. So obviously we are Space Marine, as you're probably well aware if you know the setting, and we've got the Tyranids who are swarming in. And again, like a lot of the genre here, you start off with basically the same thing, and then it will evolve from there. So we've got these Termagants or these Hormagants. I can never truly remember. One's got melee weapons, one's got range, but these are coming in, and as you get better, stronger, faster with more abilities, etc., you'll find more enemies. We're going to go again with more abilities on the chainsword, and looks like we've got is it a lictor up here, and this is like a noteworthy enemy. So what I'm doing is I'm having to see if I can take it out. Now the chainsword itself is a little bit problematic in that it basically only attacks left and right, although later on when you get upgrades it has extra attacks which will more go up. So we're basically having to work on the premise of hitting left to right here, and there we go, and we've got this, and this is a treasure, so we will open that up. And yeah, again, it's the sort of setting that you've got for 40k. So you've got the ammunition crate there with the Imperial Eagle on the top, and we've got a dice upgrade and some generic units of currency, which is used for your roguelike source permanent upgrades, which is level 2 for the dice, which is damage gone up by 5. So there we go. I've already not completed the level. That is definitely not the case. However, I have got the 2 pickups that you get, which unlocks different characters from this. What else have we got? We've got a tape measure. Increases the size of attacks by 10%, null and oil, which is generate damaging zones, and in character moves a bit faster. Let's go with increase the size of our attacks. So we've only got the one attack, as I said, but it is the chainsword, and we are actively trying to engage the swarms here. So there we go, and obviously collecting all this for the level ups. There's another tape measure to increase the size of attacks by 10%, so we're going to get more and more damage, I guess because of you know, the area of effect, so they are a bit more scattershot. I don't know why the genre seems to have this obsession with what I like to think is basically the was it, you know, the mouse pointer, the sort of what is it? Not fading, but you see behind the character, you've got like the ghosting effect there. There is a name for it. I can't remember what they used to call it. Yeah, it's got the mouse trails on. Essentially, we got the same for the character. Gauntlet or bolt gun or white dwarf. Character against 8% more experience. I guess pick that up early is probably the way to go. Get more experience early. What's curious is that these are like the things you have to go around, but the enemies can walk through them, which I'm not a big fan of that, but it is what it is. And then I've got... oh, okay, it appears to be some weird sort of flame thing, which is a pickup. And, well, I will use that, obviously, to my advantage to take out the enemy here. And you can see more swarms coming in. There's some Ripper swarms coming in. There's also these weird pulsating things, which if you kill them, you don't get much, but you do get these coins, which again are your sort of permanent currency here. And we've got another one of the noteworthy enemy mobs here, so we're going to try and take that out. So we're just going to keep near it and stay away from those ones. We now have White Dwarf more experience again. I don't know if some of these pickups are rated in terms of their rareness or not, but let's just continue on and continue with the swarm destruction. And yeah, health is slowly going down a little bit, but we're doing okay, I think. Just going to try and get to this box, and once again, it's some more treasure. The boxes do rate in, are graded in different treasure. This is just the basic one, but sometimes you get ones, you get loads of upgrades and such. And again, it's going to be a little bonus on our dice there. So we will continue on with that one. And once again, we've got more pickups, so I can do that. And there we go. And chainsword once again. We've also got a dice cube. Weapons fire more projectiles. Now, is it classed as yes? So the chainsword is classed as projectile. Basically, you just get more of them. And oh yeah, you can see we are absolutely hammering the opponents now. Okay, and we've got our dice rolling in as well. As I said, the attacks tend to just be left and right, but they are sort of scrolling up here. Let's go for a chainsword upgrade. We're currently level 10. But now the enemies have got little boosts on them, I think. And oh, it looks like we've got some spore mines coming in. Again, anyone familiar with 40k and such will probably recognise some of the creatures and such that you come in. I mean, I guess Tyranids is sort of like the default sort of swarm enemy. That and orcs really aren't there. I mean, obviously the ultimate swarm army is, as we know, Imperial Guard, just being blokes. That's how the Imperials will treat them anyway. So we've got another come in here, so let's go for another treasure. And we're already doing pretty well, I think. And this is going to give us, what we're on here, a couple of coins and another upgrade. And that's 165. Let's get our base damage dice up to 10. Now, eventually, with a lot of this, as you might have expected for, again, the genre, things will just go completely wrong. Let's go with fire one more projectile, and oh yeah, this is probably going to go wrong with the explosion of the... Oh no, it didn't work. It didn't go wrong there. It's going to go... yeah, it does go south very, very quickly, and like that there, you get big swarms that you just can't anticipate, and then they come in. A lot of the upgrades that you get is... well, it's a roguelike, isn't it? So you don't expect to win in the first instance. And yeah, there we go. There's already a fail. Like, see, it was going well. And then it wasn't. So that's game over. And there we go. So we got everything to level 4, chainsword and the dice. And, well, our time survive was 5 minutes. So you can see we now have the coins that we collected to level up. So things like, I always go with toughness. So it recovers HP. A slow level up in HP is always good. Reduction in incoming damage is always good. That just, anything to keep us alive is the way forward, really. We've also got things like this pickup range as well. Actually, you know what? I will go for reduction in that. You can just refund stuff as well, which is interesting. So if you don't want something, you can just go with, you know what? I just want loads of pickup range and I want extra strength. You can do that. Let's go with the trooper this time. So it gets again +1 redeployment every 15 levels, max 3. Starting weapon gains followers as it levels. So it's weird. I would have thought this would be the other way around, where you get a retinue. So we got this the guards person here, and they are, well, their weapon is the las gun, otherwise known as the it's basically it's a torch. It's not very powerful at all, and all it does is target the nearest enemy. But it is useful for what we're doing there. Let's go with reduction in reload time, and you see I'm just trying to target the opponent. So we have to be a lot more surgical with this character, because you have to basically just pick up what you can when you can, so like that. And you know, you can't get into swarms because it's not an area effect weapon. It's very, I mean, to be fair, for a guards person, the guardsmen exceptionally good at their job. They're just you know, absolutely hitting every time. So just taking these out. I like the way that the nids here they've got their different weapons as well. So you've got like, well, I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying. What are the weapons actually? Is it no? You've got devourers. Got I was going to say a venom cannon, but that's more of a monstrous creature type of thing. Flesh borer, etc. But I'm just avoiding most of this stuff, although there is an enemy up here that I will try to go for. Oh, they've swarmed towards me. However, I now can get a bolt gun. But this guy can't fire the bolt gun. However, we gain our Space Marine that is helping us out. So even though we're the sort of commander, as it were, the Space Marine is here to to help us out, and that's... Yes, Lord. Let's just keep on firing here. I'm not hopeful about taking out this lifter here. I don't know what I can really do. The thing is, it's the way they point. So you have to do that. It's not just, I can't just turn around like that, because the Marine still faces that way. So you have to sort of go one way and then turn around and do that. So not ideal, but yeah, we're still got some damage going out, so that's all right. And let's see if this guy can deal with it. Come on, no, and then because of that, I've managed to get surrounded. As I said, these things around here, you are stopped by it, which is curious, because we're stopped by the, like I say, the oh, there we go. There's a level up. Tail measure increases the size of attacks. Don't really need that. Glue reduces incoming damage by 1, increases retaliatory damage by 10%. Or projectile speed. I'm just going to go with glue, and then we're going to get another upgrade. Yeah, so the stuff you can find in the world, which is not much, but you've got like barricades and other things like that. But those block our movement, but not the enemies, which is curious. So there we go. We'll say done, and then we will continue on. And you've got this guy firing away there, so that's all good. So you sort of have to continue moving. There you go, so we can just sort of swarm into them a little bit, and you can see just how many are coming there. I very much like at this point, a grenade launcher maybe. That would be very, very useful indeed, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just trying to get our level ups here. Obviously, if the enemies are swarming towards us, and when they do that, then, well, they will hit us like that. So we're already on half health. We do have fires more projectiles for the bolt gun, reduces incoming damage. I'm going to reduce incoming damage because why not? Although another weapon would be desirable. The problem I've found is that there's very little. Yep, and there's the end of that chat. Okay, there's another game over. All right. Yeah, I've played for a total of 30 minutes. Unlocks the Chaos Sigil. Cool. And what else can we go for now? I hardly got any coins for that one, and I don't think really. Your weapons is 1% faster per rank. Bit boring if we're honest with one another, you know, the stuff like that. It is what it is, you know, it is a bonus, but I prefer more like adding recovery or extra attacks rather than, well, that's there, fires one more projectile rather than 1% faster fire. Like, when will you even notice it? Will it make a difference? I don't know. There's also redeployment, which is 2,551, very specific, generic units of currency. Let's just finish that one. I mean, I could go over to Age of Sigmar. I've, like I say, not played it myself. I mean, I'll try it. Starts with 20% move, gains 10% range every 5 levels. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Age of Sigmar. I just haven't played it. I'm not in the world. It's not an ecosystem, and in. I was and still am into, I have played 40k and enjoy it. Although not recently, but that's just for another reason that I haven't played it. Not for any particular reason. Yeah, played the original Warhammer, Old Hammer, as some may call it. But yeah, not Age of Sigmar. Fires more projectiles, Tempest accent. There you go, and we'll continue moving on. So these markers actually, this is a good thing to load into here. These are where you unlock the different character. Looks like we've got Skaven, Ratmen, essentially, and they are coming in. So I don't know what clan these are from. Could be anything really. There's a few different clans, isn't there? I'm trying to think of them now. Scryer is one of them. Is Molder one? Eschen? Going back a bit now. I can't remember when I last actually used Skaven. It was probably in the... Oh, is this a Grey Seer? I don't know, but it's a noteworthy character that I'm going to try and defeat. Yeah. I haven't been in the ecosystem of this for quite some time, so... I think really more time was when I last really was into it, and that's going back many a decade now. So I'm going to try and take this guy out, but the best way to do it is to obviously clear up around here. I'm going to go with the Bolt Storm pistol. There you go. And fires at the closest enemy. Okay, so useful. I would have thought I'd defeat this guy sooner rather than later. No. 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 Definitely not. Not there. Didn't do it. Still didn't work. No. No. Looks like we got some storm vermin coming in, I think they're called. Past this warp stone. Basically... Oh, and a big rat swarm. Basically, I'm not defeating that guy, although I'm not seeing them anymore. Maybe they have been defeated. Hang on. Yes, I have defeated them. There we go. There's the box. Hey, we got a crate. Okay. Took long enough. And it is a... Yes, it's one of those. It's one of them. It's the Bolt Storm pistol once again. Okay, fine. And then we'll pick up all of these, because obviously we haven't done that. Gauntlet increases inflicted damage by 10%. Null oil generates damaging zones. Let me pick up the null and oil, why not? Now I'll clear up here. And you can see the damage that we're causing here, which is good. And all the, well, skulls, but gems, whatever you like call it, to pick up. But I think it's going to be, yeah, game over. Okay. So, that did not last long. And we got another objective because it's basically this mode. Like, the modes are different. 178 for our coins. Let me just go to universe and back over, and 181. Yeah, so the coins are separate. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it there for now. That's been a bit of Warhammer Survivors. Don't think we need to go much further, because basically you're probably picking up what the game's putting down. I can see, and I don't think it's unreasonable to call it this, people are going to probably call it a reskin of Vampire Survivors, like 40k / Age of Sigmar. I don't. That, you know, again, your mileage may vary whether you think that's a bad thing or not. I think if it's just open about it, then, you know, fair enough. You know, if you like X game and it puts in Y setting, then why would two of them not go together well? Some might just, you know, say mods and blah blah blah. But taken as it is thus far, a fairly subdued demo. You've only got a couple of characters for each run, and weapons seems to be a bit limited and such. I like that they put on the sort of the hobby side of things in as well. The fact that the universe is only 40k on Age of Sigmar, I mean, what else could they add, I guess? Because that's their universes. The fact that they're completely separate when it seems to be like the money and stuff, I don't know how I feel about that. I think I would probably prefer them being together. As for obviously the future, I don't know what characters are going to be in it, what sort of abilities, enemies, etc. I can imagine it becoming quite an expansive thing. And maybe that's tied to, well, maybe that's just what the game's going to bring, or updates, DLC, paid for stuff, etc. That's all sort of up in the air, which is again another unknown. As it stands at the moment, it's like I say, it's cribbing from a very common song sheet, as it were. You know, we're familiar with the genre. Yeah, it's it's something that I'm going to keep an eye on, and we'll see how we get on with it. Yeah, I've not survived long, I think, is the main gameplay takeaway of it, which is, I guess, par for the case with this genre. But it is what it is, as I said. Let me know what you think in the comments, and yeah, we'll see how it evolves. I think once it's got more characters and maybe even different races, you know, adding in like Eldar Necrons, whatever, it might obviously bring a lot more flavour to it and enemies as well. Like I say, a fairly subdued demo. But there you go. Let me know what you think in the comments, as always, we'll go from there. Thanks so much for watching, take care. And generic partings.